Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X. Episode 21. What is Sanskrit? So far in our historical explorations, we have uncovered that the place we superficially knew as the starting point of the Ural-Altaic languages is Central Asia, and that this land of Aral, Al, and Ral was the origin of all country names and place names across the globe. We can see that the world's national and geographical names are related to Central Asia's Aral, Al, and Ral. The people from this region were the Scythian Aryans and Koreans who appear in history. As these people migrated in all directions, they emerged as races with diverse countries and cultures, such as the Guru, Cree, Crow, Gri, Gali, Gari, Gori, Kozak, Kazan, Kazakh, Kato, Kito, and Koto. On the surface, it may seem that the current races of the Earth have formed very diverse and unique cultures, but in reality, we can see that they all spread from a single cultural sphere in Central Asia. The Bright Land culture of the Scythian Aryans. The Bright Land of the Scythian Aryans in Central Asia, the Bright culture of Buddhism, is the primordial culture of humanity. This Scythian Aryan culture of Central Asia is the world culture and the Shaka culture, which is the bright teaching of Buddhism. It is a sacred and mystical divine hermit culture where gods and humans unite to become one. Therefore, its origin is what is called Chanjuk in Buddhism, and the historical Junguk, China, is meaning center country. That place is Central Asia. Central Asia was the center of the world, the central hub of the Scythian Aryan culture, and the cradle of the Aryan culture, the center of all world cultures. The historicity of the Korean language. Before delving into history, the most crucial fact to thoroughly recognize is the boundless historicity and widespread use of the Korean language. This is because Korean, as the primordial language of human history, is related to all the names of countries, capitals, and places worldwide. I never dreamed that the dynamics of this language would lead me on a journey through history. Even now, I look at a world map and observe the place names very carefully. Why is this so? Because it is truly astonishing that the names of almost every country and place can be interpreted in Korean. Let's reconsider this. We have learned that Korean belongs to the Ural-Altaic language family, that modern India's Sanskrit is the mother of Indo-European languages, and that the Ural-Altaic languages have no relation whatsoever to the Indo-European languages, of which Sanskrit is the mother tongue. However, the fact is that Korean, a Ural-Altaic language, was the origin and foundation for the national and geographical names of various European countries which are part of the Indo-European family. The sound, meaning, and content of Korean are all consistent with India's Sanskrit. What kind of nonsense is this? Who has been classifying languages all this time? On what basis was this classification made? Could there be a hidden intention to manipulate history? I believe this is a matter that not only linguists worldwide, but also our readers must seriously consider. In any case, the important point is to remember the tremendous fact that Korean, a Ural-Altaic language, naturally interprets the national and geographical names created by the Indo-European language family, which we thought were completely different. And the Indo-European speakers who actually use these place names do not understand their original meanings. We call the language of modern India Sanskrit, but the word Sanskrit itself is, in fact, Korean. Aryan X was previously so curious about Sanskrit that he was reading only the annotations of a Sanskrit dictionary, when he found that he could simply read all the consonants and vowels. He discovered that more than a third of the letters were identical to Korean consonants and vowels. With a little more research, he found that its principles of phonation and creation were perfectly identical to Hangul, the Korean script. To think that Sanskrit, the mother of Indo-European languages, was Korean. What a world-shaking, astounding event is this! It was a moment when all the shackles of historical fabrication, which claimed that the Ural-Altaic and Indo-European languages were completely different, were brilliantly cast off. It was then that I discovered that the primordial history of humanity began here, centered in Central Asia. I discovered that the protagonists of Sanskrit, the mother tongue of European languages, were none other than the Scythian Aryans who were in Central Asia, disguised as Ural-Altaic speakers, and they were the Koreans. The pronunciation and meaning of Sanskrit were purely Korean. What is Sanskrit? San means sacred, divine, mystical. Sin in Sans is a possessive particle meaning of. Kri refers to the Kori of the Koreans, the Scythian Aryans. Tut means land. The sacred language of the Koreans was Sanskrit. Then, referring to the Kri in Sanskrit, what is Christ-gyo, Christianity, which is currently packaged as such? Kri refers to the Kori of Korea. Sin is a possessive particle meaning of. Tut means land. The religion related to the national name of Korea was Buddhism, and that Buddhism was called Christ-gyo. This means that the current Catholicism and Christianity, which crucified Jesus, are fakes. I will now quote from an encyclopedia. The bodhisattva who moved from Central Asia to Western Europe is Mirikbosal, Mirikbosal. Mirikbosal is called Maitreya in Sanskrit, Mateya in Pali, and Messiah. Mithra, Misra, or Miro in English. According to the encyclopedia, Mirikbosal, Maitreya in Sanskrit, Mateya in Pali, is a bodhisattva who is currently a bodhisattva but is believed in Buddhism to appear as the next Buddha in the world to come, a future savior. According to Buddhist doctrine, he received the prophecy to become the Buddha who will save all sentient beings under the Yonghwa Sutri who could not be saved by Gautama Buddha. The Pali word Mateya is cognate with Messiah. Its meaning is also future savior. What does this mean? Is this not the Messiah of current Christianity? Its meaning is also the same, savior. The Vatican of European Catholicism, the Church, actually referred to the Buddhist Bopwangchang as the papal office of Buddhism. Now you will understand why I described the Christian cross as Western Buddhism. The one called Mirikbosal in Buddhism is called the Messiah in modern Christianity. You have just witnessed the true nature of how current religions have been manipulated. Here are some examples of English words said to be Indo-European derived from the Ural-Altaic Korean language. Shelter is a hiding place or resting place which has the same sound and meaning as the Korean shilto. Bright means a bright land which has the same sound as the Korean Brahmin or Baramanto. Center means the core, with the same sound as the Shinto or Sento. The sound of gold is the Korean Koreatong, like Korealand, and that place was also the region of gum, like gold. The sound of world is the Korean Altong of all and Ral, which was the center of the world. Marco Polo, who visited the East, titled his Travels of Marco Polo as The Description of the World. That is, the east of Korea, which was in Central Asia, was called the world. Besides these, please keep in mind the surprising fact that all the national and geographical names around the world are connected to the Korean language. Korea's Buddhism was the Christ-gyo of the West. The bright culture of the Scythian Aryans is a divine hermit culture of Shin-in-hapil and Chon-in-hapil, where God and human become one. It is not a culture of the afterlife like in modern Christianity, where one's soul might go somewhere separated from the body after death. It is a culture of life, building a paradise on this very earth while I am alive. It is a monism that seeks enlightenment within my own mind, not outside my body. I have never prayed to the sky to achieve something for me. I only strive to resemble the unchanging, constant heart of the sky and act according to my own will. Do not become slaves and servants to such a non-existent Christian God. There is no omnipotent God as described in Christianity. God exists because you humans exist. In other words, God was created by humans. The sun used at the beginning of names like Santiago, the capital of Chile, Santorini in Greece, San Sebastian in Spain, and Santa Lucia in Italy is the same word as the sun in Sanskrit, a Korean word meaning sacredness. The Santa in Santa Claus means a sacred place, and Claus has the same sound as crow, grow, and the Kori of Korea. Lima, the capital of Peru, Roma of the Roman Empire, Roma of the Romanov dynasty, and Mara in Islamabad. Lima, Roma, and Rama are pure Korean words for Brahmun, Baramuni, meaning bright. The Burl, Brie, and Bal used in Bulgaria, Brittany, Britannica, the Balkan Peninsula, Baltic, Istanbul, and Kabul are all pure Korean words meaning brightness. Why do the world's national and geographical names correspond with the Korean language? The reason is that as the Scythian Aryan Koreans moved in all directions from their primordial home in Central Asia, they transferred the names of their original homeland to the areas where they settled, which is why these commonalities arise. All answers in history lie in the hands of the Scythian Aryan Koreans. In the next installment, I will reveal the location of Central Asia where the Scythian Aryan Koreans resided, and I genuinely hope that you will contact many people to participate in this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The heavens and the earth will tremble. That place in Central Asia is also your hometown, where the history of all the world's races existed. So, look forward to the next installment. The subtitles can be translated into the language of each country, so please make use of them. If you have any issues, please contact me via comments or Google Mail. My Google Mail address is aryanrealhistory@gmail.com. The YouTube video address is Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X, or History Restoration of Aryan X. Your subscriptions and likes are a reflection of your conscience and passion for the truth, so please do not forget them.